Welcome back to the Nurse Tori Show, where we talk all things health and wellness so you can stop being confused about how to take care of your body and start crushing your goals with confidence. Today's a big deal. I am finally going to tackle seed oils and give you my hot take on them. The internet is literally in shambles over seed oils. And so you'd think they were single-handedly responsible for every chronic disease known to man. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to defend seed oils, okay? I don't want you to go chug some canola oil as a wellness hack. But here's the thing. If you don't have the foundations of health in place, cutting out seed oils isn't going to do much for you. Okay, let's get into it. All right, if you are not sleeping, you're not lifting weights, you're not walking after meals, you're not getting outside, you're stressing 24/7, you're eating tons of sugar or not balancing your blood sugar, removing seed oils is not going to be the magic fix you think it is. So let's break this down. Picture a ripping house fire, okay? And you show up to this house fire to put it out with a bucket of water and toss it on the fire. It is not going to do much. All right, so now let's imagine this ripping fire is your body. If you don't have the foundations of health in place, like sleep, stress management, lifting weights, sunlight, blood sugar balance, your house is on fire, and worrying about seed oils is like trying to put out the fire with one bucket of water. Oh yeah, and I forgot alcohol. That's another one. How do I know? Because I've worked with hundreds of women in my one-on-one weight loss program who are still eating seed oils and improving their overall health. Their hormones are getting balanced. They're losing weight. They're sleeping better. Their periods are better. Their menopausal symptoms are better, all because they're focusing on the right things, not seed oils. Okay, here's why seed oils aren't your biggest problem. I've worked with so many clients who were hyper-focused on seed oils when they first started working with me. They're reading every label, terrified of eating out, but still struggling with low energy, poor sleep, weight gain, cravings, and hormone imbalances. And hearing this, you might be like, yeah, this is me. Let me tell you about Alex. She was a client of mine who, when she started with me, she did not eat a single seed oil. She cooked all of her food. She didn't eat out. She was meticulous about health food, but she was exhausted. She had chronic pain. She had terrible periods. Her hair was falling out. She could not lose weight. Okay. But she was eating super clean, right? She was eating clean. I put air quotes, eating clean. But it wasn't until she started managing her stress. And let me tell you, for this gal, because I know her story and her stress was absolutely out of hand, like it is for so many of my clients and so many of you listening. When she started managing her stress, that was the most important thing that improved her overall health. But she also prioritized sleep, was lifting weights, eating enough protein, and balancing her blood sugar. Because you see, she was eating clean, but she was not balancing her blood sugar. You can only be eating what God gave us on this green earth. But if you're not balancing your blood sugar and your stress is out of hand and you're not sleeping and you're not lifting weights, and you will not move the needle with your weight loss, with your health, with your energy levels. It's just, it doesn't work like that. So as soon as she dialed in the foundations of health, she started losing weight. Her energy levels went up. Her periods got better. Okay. All right. So she is my clean eater story. And now I want to give you the flip side of that. I have a lot of clients that start with me and they're eating a ton of processed food. This one particular client that I'm thinking of, she grew up in a family that didn't really cook. So everything came from a package, and she's now in her 30s and she's cooking for herself. She's either getting everything from Uber Eats or she is only cooking packaged food. So needless to say, the amount of seed oils she's consuming is excessive. Okay, excessive. But that's not the first thing I address with her. She's also drinking soda, not diet soda, like regular soda. She's not balancing her blood sugar. Her sleep is awful. All right. She's not exercising. She's not getting outside in front of a computer all day long. She's got stressful relationships. Do you see a trend? Okay. Do you see a trend? Do you hear a bit of yourself in this? Okay. Because so many of my clients are struggling with the same things. Just the details are just a little bit different. Okay. And I share these stories with you to give you hope that this could be possible for you too. Okay. So this client, again, we make a few changes. Every time she goes to the grocery store, I'm like, hey, let's swap that white bread for whole wheat bread. Let's swap your sugary yogurt for a non-sugary yogurt. We make little adjustments, okay? She's still eating Doritos. They're her favorite. Great. I love Doritos too, okay? So we are not focusing on seed oils. She's eating less of them than she was when she first started with me, but she's still eating quite a bit of seed oils. But what is she doing now? She's moving her body consistently. She's managing her stress. She's sleeping at night. She's getting sunlight in her eyes during the day. She is balancing her blood sugar. Okay. Now, this is a gal who I didn't give you her story in the beginning, but she has endometriosis, terrible periods. Okay. Now, for her, we've also started really looking at the products she's using because endometriosis is estrogen dominance, and often that comes from stress, low progesterone, which causes high estrogen. And a lot of that comes from toxic things that have in our environment that are endocrine disruptors. Okay. So for her, we've started adjusting this, but she still uses regular aluminum deodorant. All right. So I know everyone's flipping out, but you got to hear me. Like, she's a person. I'm meeting her where she's at so that we can actually get real results for her. So seed oils is something that I'm not emphasizing with her yet, right? Because she's naturally going to get less of them as she starts replacing her processed food with unprocessed food, because that's what happens. All right. But she's still getting good results. And this girl had one of the best periods she's ever had with me after just a couple months of working together because of the adjustments she's making, because she was building the foundations of health. I never brought up seed oils to her once, not a single time. Okay, so let's talk about why seed oils are such a big deal and why everybody keeps talking about them. Okay, the real issue is not that they exist. It's that we eat way too much of them compared to omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory. Seed oils like soybean, corn, and safflower oil, they're high in omega-6 fatty acids, which aren't bad. Okay. We have to get out of this like good or bad thing. All right. We just are not supposed to be eating as many of them in our diet as we do because of our processed diet. Okay. When you have a lot more omega-6 fatty acids instead of omega-3 fatty acids, it can fuel inflammation. So when we're off balance, but it's not just about the imbalance. It's also about how these oils are made. So unlike olive oil or butter, which are naturally extracted, most seed oils go through an intense industrialized process that makes them highly inflammatory and potentially harmful. Okay, here's how they do it. First of all, these oils are processed at high heat. They're heated to extreme temperatures, which oxidizes the oils and creates harmful compounds. It actually changes the composition of these oils. All right, and then they use chemical solvents to extract every last drop of oil from the seeds. And the residues of these chemicals can remain in the final product, which is gross. Then the oil is chemically bleached to remove color and deodorized because in its natural state, it doesn't smell good. Ew. And then they add synthetic antioxidants to prevent the oils from going rancid. But these additives have been linked to potential health concerns. So what you get is a highly refined oxidized oil that can promote inflammation, disrupt metabolism, and negatively impact your health, especially when consumed in excess. And I think that is the key right there, consumed in excess. So should you be worried about going out to a restaurant and getting seed oils when you cook most of your food at home? No, not in my opinion, no. All right, so what's the move? Where do we go from here then? We want to balance it out. You want to get more omega-3s in your diet from things like salmon, eggs, chia seeds, flax seeds, avocados, and walnuts. That's just a start, right? So include those things in your meals every week and then be mindful of where you're probably getting excessive amounts of seed oils and start swapping those things out. So in your products at home, start looking at labels and swapping them out for things that are lower in these highly processed seed oils. So that way, when you occasionally go out to eat and you know they're probably cooking things in seed oil, you don't stress on it. I would also like to add that not all seed oils are created equal. Cold pressed organic seed oils like organic sunflower or sesame aren't the problem, okay? They're minimally processed and they have some nutrients. It's the ultra processed ones that go through this toxic refining process and are used in everything like chips, fast food, frozen meals. They're the ones you want to limit. If you've ever cooked anything in sesame oil, you know how much flavor it adds. So when you're cooking at home, stick to olive oil, avocado oil, butter, ghee, or coconut oil. And when you buy packaged foods, read the labels and choose options that are better oils whenever possible. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, Tori, I already do all these things. That's why I'm focusing on seed oils. Great. You've already built the foundations of health. Okay. So if you're already doing all those things, then you have the luxury of refining even further. Okay. But until you get consistent with these foundations, worrying about every little seed oil is not going to move the needle. Okay. That's my message to you. The real game changer, though, you guys always hear me talking about this, is blood sugar control. If you're dealing with cravings, low energy, mood swings, weight gain, hormone issues, or constant hunger, blood sugar is probably the issue, or at least contributing, and it's not seed oils. Until you've got the foundations of health in place, don't be stressing on every little bit of seed oil that goes in your mouth. If you're like, okay, I really don't understand what you keep talking about when you talk about blood sugar balance, you need to download my mini course. It's less than an hour. It's fun, informative, and I teach you guys how to balance your plate without giving up all your favorite foods. That's the key. Because if you're dieting, we've all done that before, it doesn't last very long. And then you go to a party, you go out of town, you go on vacation, you go out to a restaurant, you gotta say, oh, screw it. I'm just gonna get what I want. Well, you can get what you want and still balance your blood sugar when you understand my 3P method. Okay. And that's what I simplify for you guys in my course. It's called The Sugar Solution. So check that out. It's going to be in the show notes. And if you're like, I really need more help with this, I really need someone that's going to walk me through step by step, check out my one-on-one program. I'd love to work with you. Spots are limited, so make sure you apply today. Also in the show notes, I have a link to my guide to weight loss and healthy hormones. That's going to give you the big picture that I've been talking about today so you know what to focus on. Also, another free download for you if you're looking for grocery staples, the things that I get every week on repeat that keep things simple, you can also download that. Make sure you send this to your friend who's totally scared of seed oils so they can relax. And you guys together can start focusing on what really matters. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Please leave a 5-star review if you're enjoying it, and I'll see you on the next one.